Hi guys, and welcome to another Women's World Cup 2019 video. In this video I'll focus on detail on each of the matches that have just gone, touching upon players who have done well from both the winning and the losing sides. As the stages go on, I'll just focus on the top scoring players for help with your She Plays and Fancy Bet teams. But for now, I think it's worth mentioning some ones to watch with still such a large pool of players left and an unsuspected wildcard. So that's good times. The first match up was France versus Korea. Now, France started off with a bang in their opening match against Korea, winning 4-0. As a team, they had 60% of possession and used it well. As we know, France are one of the teams to load up on in our fantasy teams. Renard being the standout with 2 shots on target and 2 goals. She is 1 million in the She Plays game though, so she is not cheap. But she gets more points for being a defender, so it's worth bearing that in mind. Alongside Renard, it could be worth looking at Marjorie, one of my players, who picked up 21 points, as did Le Sommer, so they're both good options in the French team. Cheaper assets, though, with great points, worth considering are Thyne, Torrent and Henri. So just bear those in mind. France should go far in this competition. They looked amazing. Now, Korea need players to step up. Kim Dion leading the points due to how much defending she did, along with the goalkeeper, of course. But if Korea are to move forward, they will need Ji Sun-yoon to step up. Korea face Nigeria up next, who lost 3-0 to Norway, so it could be an alright shout. Next up, Germany played China. Germany were a little hot for China to handle, but were wasteful with their 18 attempts. Standout players consisted of Gwyn, who scored and got clean sheet points for a total of 18 points in She Plays, being a defender. She's also fairly cheap at 250,000. Dawson is a little more expensive, but did pick up a few extra defensive points in central midfield. Germany do face Spain up next, who did win 3-1 against South Africa. This may not be the time to invest in a Germany defender, but still worth consideration going further into the competition. It depends on how daring you want to be right now. And I love an attacking defender. Sometimes it doesn't matter who they're against, so Gwyn could be an option. Now moving on to China, stars that were held in check by Germany but now must perform were Yang Li, Wu Haiyan, the standout in defence. The South Africa game should be tighter and China will need Captain Wu to be at her best, so you could do a cheeky punt here, although it's going to be a tough match, I think. Spain versus South Africa. Spain's standout player by far was Hermoso, getting 25 points in the She Plays game for her 2 goals. She's a cheap striker at 650,000. Even cheaper is her teammate Garcia, also a forward and just 250,000. Spain may just have gone a little underrated in this competition, so keep an eye on them. The Germany v Spain match should be very interesting. Catalana scored for South Africa, as I can't call that China game. You're probably better at picking assets that are just better proven with nicer fixtures, if I'm honest. Moving on to Norway versus Nigeria. Norway steamrolled Nigeria 3-0 but face a tougher opponent in France up next. Reighton with a goal and an assist, edging the points with 16. Hansen also looked quite promising. Despite not scoring, she did pick up an assist. Norway have France up next. This could be a tough fixture. If you invest in Norway now, you will be doing so with a look ahead to the Korea match in a couple of games' time, so definitely consider that. Nigeria did have chances though, and with them facing Korea up next, Nigeria could be a place to look for your fantasy bet team, where you get a one-off chance at a stage with a team and you can just load your teams up with whichever team you like against the best opponent you see fit. Australia versus Italy. Surprisingly, Italy beat Australia 2-1. However, Kerr did not let us fantasy managers down despite missing her penalty. She did score the rebound. Looking ahead to the Australia versus Brazil match, Australia had 17 attempts at goal against Italy. Obviously Sam Kerr will be heavily involved again, but also Chloe Logarzo, Catalina Ford and Emily Van Egmond could be amongst the action too, so bear those in mind. The four combining for 10 shots and 8 on target. Barbara in the Brazilian goal likely to need to make more than the 3 saves she made against Jamaica to hold off Australia. So, if you're looking for save points, she could be one to watch. Now with Italy, Bonancia is looking like a real steal in the She Plays Fantasy game, just 450,000 and scored 2 goals for 16 points. Frustratingly, she was in my first draft. Given Italy faced Jamaica up next, who lost 3-0 to Brazil, then I think investing in an attacking Italy player seems like a great shout right now. You could also consider Kanoa, who assisted one of Bonancia's goals, but I think Bonancia is where it's at. Brazil versus Jamaica. We have touched upon Brazil, but boy oh boy did we write this team off given their recent form. Brazil are back and it might be time to consider some of their fancy assets. Christiane is a snip in the She Play games at just 350,000, picking up a hat-trick against Jamaica, which was by no means an easy game whatsoever. Alves got an assist, so she could be a different way into the Brazilian attack, though she is more expensive than Christiane, so I would look there first. Jamaica fought hard though. Italy could be another tough match for them going forward. Shaw, who had 3 shots on target against Brazil, should keep the Italian goalkeeper busy. One thing Jamaica has is great speed, and with Italy already having 3 points, they may be playing a more defensive game to get that 4th spot and to qualify for the second round. This may allow Jamaica a bit more attacking room, and as is case for all teams losing their first match, a win is almost a must now. England versus Scotland. What a match this was. It was obvious that England have showed up here with real intent. They have Argentina up next, who failed to score any goals in their first match. White and Paris really impressed in this match, getting a goal apiece. Mead grabbed an assist, and in defence Bronze was outstanding, but she will cost you big bucks in the She Plays game. Scotland's Claire Emsley had 4 shots, 3 on target, resulting in a goal, so if you want to look at Scotland, she's probably the one to look at. Argentina versus Japan remains our only 0-0 draw of this first stage. Japan had the lion's share of possession, which is why the defenders got the best of the points here. I think Bonini is the only real player of note here as a one to watch. As with England up next, this might not be the time to invest in her unless you want to get her and place her on your bench. Canada versus Cameroon. Canada looked great in this match, but it was over to their central defender Buchanan to grab their winning goal, earning herself 14 She Plays points. Forward Becky with the assist. Canada faced New Zealand up next, who managed to keep out the Netherlands until injury time. This could be a tough match. New Zealand versus the Netherlands. As mentioned, New Zealand's defence was only broken by a late goal in this matchup. It could be worth considering New Zealand's defenders should they go further in this competition. The Netherlands were creative and many times looked as if they might get more than their 1 goal. I would load up on Dutch players with them playing Cameroon next. If not in She Plays, but then definitely in Fantasy Bet. Now you might see a couple of graphics missing from this point forward. She Plays are trying to catch up on all the games, but they have their work cut out for them. They will be posted on Twitter later though, I'm sure, so you'll be able to catch them there. Chile versus Sweden. Sweden left it late to grab their win against Chile. However, with Thailand up next, Sweden could be a consideration. Aslani and Janoji with the goals. Aslani with an assist also, but Janoji was a sub, so bear that in mind, she didn't start. It might be worth looking in defence here also. Glass was at right back and was mentioned countless times during the match. She was all over the place, so she looked brilliant. So if I had to pick 2, Glass and Aslani are my 2 from Sweden. I'd avoid Chile with USA up next if I'm honest. And so let's move on to the USA. Wow, USA versus Thailand. Who would have imagined 13-0 in this match, a new World Cup record? I think what this highlights is the vast difference in resources and funding for some of the women's teams. Hopefully this tournament will help raise the profile of the women's game and help out teams like Thailand who will really need it. But you got to give it to the USA. They were relentless. I made a last minute switch to Morgan as my captain, and what a switch that was, and the USA did not disappoint. Take your pick with this team. We had Morgan, 5 goals and 3 assists, Ripponey, 1 goal and 2 assists, Mewis, 2 goals and 2 assists, Horan with a goal, Lavelle with 2 goals, O'Hara with a clean sheet and a goal and all those defensive points. The subs also got in on the action. Pugh got a goal and assist, Lloyd a goal, and Press an assist. So you know what, just load up on USA where you can. They'll be great assets going forward. Unfortunately, Thailand looked out of their depth and may well become the team to fill up on against, sadly. So a quick look at my fantasy teams. She Plays, our brand new website, so I've had a few hiccups. Because of this, they have given us unlimited transfers after the first stage. So immediate reactions are: players I'm considering out are Fleming, Cascarino, Huth and Hasgawa. Players I'm considering in: Renard, Henri, Bonancia, Christine, Paris, Bronze, Mead, Rayton, Hansen, Lavelle, Horan, Mewis, and many of the USA, to be fair. I probably won't know my league placing yet, as She Plays team have their work cut out with them after last night's match. So I'll tweet and I'll Insta it out as soon as I know for you guys. Fancy Bet team, I did change my team a bit since the last video, so here that is. It was a bit of a last minute panic. The biggest problem I faced here was not loading up on players from the same team. I forgot I could do that here, so not loading up on, say, mostly USA or mostly France, given their fixtures. So I will look to invest more heavily in a team I feel will win the next stage. Teams such as England, Netherlands, Italy, Sweden, USA with form and fixtures, and then Spain, Germany and France all have tougher fixtures but do have great assets. I came 311th year with 46 points. Not great, no Morgan in this team, but learning all the time. And the thing about Fancy Bet is that each stage is a completely fresh start, so you get to start all over again. It's with thanks to Jeffers at FPL_Thunder for helping me out with this video. Please do go check him out on Twitter, and a big thank you to sheplays.com.au and fancybet.com for all of their assistance with playing each of these fancy games. Please like and subscribe for more football and fancy football content, and please check out my channel sponsors fancyfootballfix.com, who have a great pre-season pack for the FPL available right now. And that's it, you guys. Until next time, Nymphria out.